Welcome back to another episode of Squared, the co-working space here in Pocatello. My name is Alex. Today I have a special guest, Paige Sheffield with Modern Acupuncture.
Thanks, Alex. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks. Can you tell us what you do? Because we talked about it a little bit before this and about doing the hand and acupuncture and all.
Right.
What that
Okay.
does.
So I'm a licensed acupuncturist, which is an advanced degree course in the US. I actually trained in the UK, and I practiced for 10 years and a couple years in London and in a place called Lincolnshire, where I owned a practice there. And then I moved 2 years ago to lovely Pocatello, and thankfully to John and some of the co-working people, they offered me a little space to do some what I call community acupuncture. So I, every week here, offer community acupuncture to the coworker people that are part of the co-working group and also just to the general public in Pocatello. And so what that involves basically is doing a very common protocol, which is called the NADA protocol. And it's very commonly used in rehab situations and they used it during 9/11, and it's a kind of trauma-informed treatment where you put 5 needles in each ear. And what it's supposed to do is lower your stress levels, basically, and kind of help calm and soothe and just feel really relaxed. And so it's a wonderful thing for the coworker people who are, stressed workers or just general people. I really wanted it to get out to some of the community where rehab and addiction are an issue, but that's kind of slowly coming. I think every week we're getting about a dozen people coming in, so yeah, it's working really well. And it's $10 and it's really a full acupuncture treatment in itself. So
Yeah, and wow, just $10.
Yeah.
That's every Monday, right?
Every Monday, 4:30 to 6. Well, last appointment is at 6. But it's just drop in, people come in, and it's a really friendly kind of situation where people are just sitting in chairs with needles in their ears and, kind of chatting to one another or being quiet. Depends on sometimes how they're feeling, or some people are really chill and they just kind of meditate or be very quiet. Other people kind of chat amongst themselves. So it's kind of becoming a little community. I think, people come every week, and so they get to know the group, and it's kind of a nice, it's a nice vibe. It's a nice, relaxing treatment situation.
Yeah, especially on a Monday, after work or anything like that, just going and getting acupuncture. That's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a private clinic, and I charge $115 to come and see me privately. So I really wanted to make it accessible to the community. I really wanted to have an offering that I could say to people who, I often get people calling, they say, oh, I just really can't afford to do that, and I say, well, you know what, I have this option where you can just come and pay $10 and have an acupuncture treatment. So for me, it's kind of my way of giving back to the community. And I feel really lucky that the people here at Station Square are really supportive of that, because I think it's an important service, because people are so stressed out these days, right?
Yeah, and it's awesome, the way, it's instead of other treatments, you just do it by finding the little needles.
Yeah, I brought some with me. I was going to have a little demonstration. We're going to see if we can chill Alex out. Should we do that?
Let's go for it.
Well, I can't do your ears because you've got headphones on, so that's not going to work. So if I do your hand, the hand is a little bit more sensitive than the ears, but we can do that. So I was telling Alex earlier, we kind of give him a little bit of a prep. So the needles are super fine. They're almost the width of a hair. So they're very, very fine. They're single-use needles. They're sterile. I throw them away after I use them, so they're not, going to be used again. So, and they're just really quick to insert. You just like that.
Didn't even feel it.
Did you not?
No.
Good. Well, these are really small. These are called the detox needles. So they have a smaller needle at the end. But yeah, so they're pretty small. But these are the ones that I use at the NADA clinic. I have some pretty nasty looking needles in my office, but I won't scare people with those.
Because I've done the treatment, the private one,
right.
and I felt really good afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you're doing this with the community and you're doing it for them too. Because $10 for one of these in your ear, and it feels good. Like you feel relieved afterwards. Like
Yeah.
I've noticed my mood change, because we were doing the business boot camp and we did the aura reading as well too.
Uh-huh.
And so I did it like before
Okay.
and then after, and it completely changed. So I was like, whoa, that's way cool.
But
Like
you
I
did
felt,
the acupuncture and the aura reading?
hmm
Did you do the aura reading before and after?
yeah. So
Really?
it completely changed the colors. I was like, wow, just
Oh,
that
yeah.
in that
Yeah.
time frame.
Yeah, well, I mean, acupuncture is like an amazing medicine. People don't really understand that it's actually a complete system of medicine. So I get a lot of people asking me, so, what do you treat? And it's kind of like, well, it's kind of like a rising boat lifts all tides. And so when you use acupuncture, it tends to kind of take down some of the stress out of your body. And we all know that stress is kind of a major cause of a lot of disease, and particularly in the times we're living in, where people are feeling really emotionally strained with all the different catastrophes, and the pandemic and the isolation. And so there's a real need for this kind of medicine that kind of helps people to connect with themselves and just to feel more relaxed. And things like high blood pressure and like period, menstruation and hormonal issues. I do a lot of work with that, and just pain management kind of problems with people. There's a lot of people that are in chronic pain and chronic like emotional, like depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So they just need that support really. And acupuncture is a wonderful medicine for that.
Yeah, because I remember when I went to you, like I was having like headaches, migraines, and then we did the whole treatment, and I walked out there like looking at everything, like, oh wow, like the trees, everything looked different, more clear. So
Uh-huh.
I really liked the treatment. It's
Yeah,
pretty nice.
good. So yeah, headaches and migraines are a big one for treatment as far as like being effective. So did you find that? Did it help you?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And then like with the in different pain points, or not pain points, but in different spots, that's how you cure some stuff, right?
Yeah, there's different combinations. So in Chinese medicine, there's 12 acupuncture meridians that run throughout the body. And so along those meridians are different acupuncture points that have different functions. And so as an acupuncturist, I will kind of look at your tongue. So I have people stick out their tongue and I do some tongue diagnosis. I feel their pulse. I try to get a kind of overall picture of, I say it's like your environment of your body. So like in Chinese medicine, we talk about damp and heat and cold and wind as being pathogenic factors that cause disruptions in our system, disruptions and blockages in our meridian system. And so we're trying to get the flow restored. So some people the flow will be too slow, or what we call deficient, or it'll be too fast and excess, and too hot, and we'll call that an excess condition. And so we're really trying to help the body become homeostatic, kind of get to that middle calm space.
Right. No, because this is awesome. Like I thought it was gonna hurt when you were
Yeah,
trying to help me.
we can
hurt.
try. Should I try harder?
I think we're good.
Yeah, no, it's usually, and that's the thing people always worry about. Oh, is it going to hurt? And usually, it shouldn't really hurt that bad. They're needles, so I'm not going to say it's like completely pain-free. Sometimes there'll be a little twinge, but it'll just be like for a split second. And then sometimes people feel a bit of heat, or it'll feel expanding, so there's various different feelings people might experience, but hopefully, usually they'll just feel a sense of relaxation and calm.
Yeah, because I was terrified of needles. I was completely scared, and then you kind of like changed my mind on that, because I was like, oh, they're not that bad. Even though to me, I was like, oh, they're super thin. But
You
I'm still
were
scared.
super great. You were super brave. You were brave. You were a brave young man. So yeah, it's not as scary as people think, because it's like I often say to people, it's like, you wouldn't say to a plumber, oh, I hate wrenches. It's like, yeah, I know people always say to me, oh, I hate needles. And it's like, well, it's not about the needles. It's about the results that you get, right? So you want to feel better. You might have to put up with a little bit of slight fear or discomfort, but it's actually so tiny compared to what it can do for you. Like it can really help people to feel better,
Because I'm starting to feel like different, like in my arm. I can feel it kind of
Really? You're
yeah.
super sensitive though, aren't you? You're really tuned into your body and to how you feel and stuff. So yeah, that's, like I say, that's called large intestine 4. It's probably one of the most popular points to use, because it's called one of the command points for the head. So like for headaches or feeling like anxious or depressed, it kind of helps clear the head. And it's large intestine, so it's also like constipation or any kind of digestive issues it's really good for. So that one's I use that quite a lot in clinic. So it's a powerful point.
Yeah, that's cool. Another thing that I think is cool though is like starting a business, because you came all the way from like London. So
I did.
what was it like starting a business in Pocatello, Idaho?
I have been really amazed actually at Pocatello as a place to start a business, because I started my business in October of 2020. So I opened during the pandemic, and I was sharing the office with a really good massage therapist. His name's Kevin Hall, and he's been a massage therapist for like 25 years. So he's got a good clientele. And so we opened our, new clinic, because it was a premises that was kind of not very, it needed remodeling and all sorts of things. So we opened that up in October, and like this last 2021 was my first year. And then 2022, I'm like up 25% from 2021. And it's just awesome. Like, yeah, it's just been growing gangbusters. And I didn't think Pocatello would be a town that would really support acupuncture as well as it has, but I've been really, really happy with how well it's gone. And there's a lot of, really cool business people like you and John and the people down here and co-working. So, there's a lot of resources, I'm going to say, like the small business development. People at ISU have been super helpful. There was lady, Ann Swanson, who I worked with a little bit there. And so there's a lot of support for small businesses. And I've been pleasantly surprised actually at how easy it was and how, busy I've gotten, and I haven't really done a lot of marketing. It's just been word of mouth. So yeah, it's gone super well. I've had a really good experience kind of returning to the US and feeling like, yeah, this is great. It's a great place to be.
That's awesome. Like, because I see the affordability and everything, and like how you're helping the community. I'm feeling way better. Like,
see, and that's one needle. Like, yeah. Come on, people. It's like 10 needles. I use up to like 30 in a treatment. I think when I did it with you privately. Yeah. Do you not remember having all those needles across your forehead?
Yeah. I remember the main one in the forehead.
Yeah, that's called yin tang, and it's a really good one for calming the mind. It's kind of in the third eye space for some people who are into the chakras. That sort of main one. But yeah, I feel so, lucky to be doing something that I really am passionate about and love. And I, teach a Tai Chi class just next door at Mind Your Body right before I do the community acupuncture. And so I've had a few, new students with that. And that's been really fun too, because it's kind of, I can teach people how to manage the energy in their body when we do Qigong and Tai Chi. But like with acupuncture, I'm kind of helping manage the need, I'm doing something to you. Whereas like when you do your own thing, learning Tai Chi and Qigong, it's kind of like you learn to manage your own energy. So I feel like I teach people to help themselves there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. It's fun. It's a fun class. We enjoy it. We have a good time.
Yeah, because this is awesome. Like, because I'm not even scared. I'm like, oh wow.
I know it does. Some people are like looking at it and they're thinking, oh my gosh, that needle's in me. So it can be interesting. But most people, even if they're a little bit nervous, I think having the needles, they do calm down, because the effect of the needles, there's a chemical cascade in the body that you start to feel more relaxed. So.
Yeah, I'm more relaxed because before I was at the gym, and then my back was starting to hurt, but even like kind of like my back pain, like kind of gone. So
wow,
it's neat.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, I would recommend everybody to get acupuncture. So yeah, come see me, Modern Acu. I'm on Instagram. Well, not very much, but I'm up on Pocatello Creek Road, 1155 Pocatello. You can call me 208-380-8855. I'd love to see you. Are here at Station Square on Mondays. Our little community acupuncture crew is awesome. So thanks so much for having me, Alex. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks.